Alright, back in rat hell over here. So normally we would be approaching this and like walking forward and aggroing all these rats. But I sort of did it by mistake. My bad. Of course, there's something else in this area, as far as I recall. But there's not much I can do about it until it decides to show up. There we go. Huh! I've never had him like come so late that I actually see him spawn like this. This is Kirk, Knight of Thorns. He's well, pretty obviously an NPC just because that armor set is hilarious. He's got more poise than you would expect, I suppose. Given that he was able to tank one of our hits. But, oof. Armor's, I guess, decent. He is still an NPC, and thus fairly, backstabbable, we'll say. Jesus, this dude can trade with you. You'll also notice that his weapon causes bleeding. If your bleed bar gets full, you are gonna get fucked up. And another thing that lets you know that it was actually a NPC is the fact that they drop an item along with the humanity that you get normally from defeating an invader. Barbed straight sword. I can't decide how I want to show this. Our item thing is getting big, and I'm probably going to have to go into the item box and just dump a bunch of this shit in. All these spears. Did I just completely miss it? Yes, I did. Sorry. The choice weapon of the infamous Dark Wraith Kirk, also known as the Knight of Thorns for the gnarly spikes on his favorite weapon. This frightful sword deals only thrust attacks and causes heavy bleeding. So you get this item and learn a little bit about that NPC enemy over there. And this isn't the last time that we're going to be seeing our friend Kirk. Oh, one last rat. Not really worth much. I mean, just cleared out a whole cave of them, but whatever. Over here. So the game actually does something pretty clever here by basically making these slimes completely disappear for the majority of this. And then right at the very end, giving you another room full of them, but with an interesting tell. At least I think there's a slime down. Yep. There's a bunch of them up here. Boop. Once again, literally not even worth going after these guys if you don't have pyromancy. Also important around here is that the path actually splits up a little bit, and you really, really want to go open this door, trust me. Leads back out to this rat bar. But we're still not going to deal with that. I think I've gotten all of them, but there might be one left. You can really tell I'm not used to playing with pyromancy in my left hand. So all this way back here, we see a big door that is, perhaps unsurprisingly, locked. It's locked. Like that message. I think that's different than some of the other ones. And, a rather interesting looking fellow.
Aye, shall I? I'm good day to you. I'm Domhnall of Xena. I'm just a peddler of sorts. I adore trinkets and oddities, so I trade for them.
I may be getting this wrong, but I believe Domhnall is Welsh. Someone can correct me on that, but it's an accent that even if Americans can recognize it as British, is distinctly kind of just weird to them, so I really like it. for that. It may be like some other area of England that also has that quality. But I really like the way that they chose a lot of British VAs to sort of go with your own mental associations of these things. Like, you know, to sort of play on your own mental associations that already exist with these voices. Same sort of thing exists between Griggs and Laurentius, as I kind of touched on before.
I'm afraid I don't see anything here.
You have anything else? Nope. He will eventually have other things to say to us. He has gold pine resin, some crystal items, which are interesting, a fully crystallized straight sword. How such a weapon was created is entirely unknown. The crystallization boosts its attack, but makes the blade brittle. The sword cannot be used for long, as it cannot be repaired. So this is another interesting mechanic that the game mentions to you. Crystal weapons that you can get, but that won't be able to be repaired. I believe these ones are unique, but eventually you'll be able to make anything a crystal weapon. Yeah, I thought so. Yep, all these are pretty much the same. Regular arrows in case you just need a refill. I like that they gave arrows to so many different people to help you make sure you never really run out of them. And then an interesting armor set. Helm of the Wise. A strange helm from the ancient land of Xena, birthplace of the curious dealer Domhnall. The two horns are believed to symbolize wisdom. It's worth mentioning that this helmet is actually almost a direct replica of a helmet that was made for an English king. I want to say it was Henry VIII, but I could be wrong. It is like, there are a lot of the more special armor sets in this game that are like direct references to other things. And this is one of them, and it's really cool, and I really like it. Anything else? Same kind of description on the armor, but the medals are believed to symbolize glory. The gold bracelets symbolize a vanquisher, and the inlaid silver rings symbolize an explorer. There's just, it's a lot of neat little stuff here, and yeah, Domhnall himself is wearing this interesting set of accoutrements.
Well, that is a shame, but no matter. No, not to worry. Come back again. I'm always available. Not every trade was meant to be. There'll be more in store for us someday, sometime.
Indeed there will. He becomes a very important merchant later on. Oh, hello, rat. I didn't even notice you. You know what? You're not bothering me. Sorry I swung my sword at you. We have other things to swing our sword at. This is a really weird design choice here, because yeah, you can't actually fit through this, and there's nothing over there, so there's no reason to go, but they really should have just put some rubble in the way to indicate to the player that they didn't. It's minor. Alright, so there's some stairs down, but I believe maybe it's a floor down. I believe completely incorrectly that there is anything of interest over there. Maybe this way? Yeah, see, like, it's completely cut off here, where on the other side it wasn't. Shit's weird. And there's a summon sign. Oh, our good buddy Solaire. And there's another summon sign. Knight Lautrec. There we go. You also get a heavy crossbow over here. Well, Lautrec has made it clear that he's not really that friendly. But Solaire's always been a buddy. Let's just pop him up. So yeah, this is being set up. You know, you've got this area and you've suddenly got this staircase that will go down to it. So you know that there is a boss fight here. But I just want to say, coming up here is legitimately the best cutscene in the entire game. One of the best cutscenes in video games. I don't care what other people think about this, if other people agree with me that or not. I truly believe this. The first time I saw this is just one of the best cutscenes I have ever seen. So let's go. god! Like, the first time that I have seen pretty much anyone see that cutscene, they always have that reaction. Like, this cutscene is absolutely ridiculous. Also, Solaire, you were just not doing it for me, buddy. Run! But I mean, like, just consider that cutscene on all levels. It starts off, you know that you're going to be fighting something, and you probably even have this inkling from the size of the arena that this is going to be a little bit above the pay grade of other monsters you've seen so far. But, like, the degree to which this thing gives you that kind of bait and switch, where it's like, okay, I guess maybe I'm going to fight an alligator or something. And it gives you that head, and you sort of see, like, little bits and pieces of teeth and things like that. But until it starts crawling up and starts giving you, like, the money shots of those huge, like, you know, the giant side views, and God, Solaire, you were useless here. Of basically those money shots of the huge side views, and it raises up and shows you those giant teeth. Like, it's so perfect. Uh-oh. Whoop! Alright, I kind of screwed myself by summoning Solaire here, because now this has even more health than it would otherwise. And frankly, this is a bit of a slog of a fight. Like, I hate to say it, but the fight is a lot... Wow! Wow! The fight is so much worse than the cutscene that it goes. Because, I mean, this thing hits like a truck and can kill you unless you are really good at shield, like, really good, really tanky. It just does a ton of damage. So, it makes it so that it's fairly easy to dodge, and a lot of the time you're just wailing on this giant wall of health. That I made worse by summoning something. So I'm not going to make that same mistake next time. That said, at least we unlocked this path. So getting back to the boss is fairly quick. Alright. At least our souls are close to the door. The game even gives you the cutscene every time you go through, which it doesn't do for every monster. But yeah, like, you know, you get this one little view, and I'm not gonna view this cutscene again after this, but you get this one little thing, and then it sort of like inches itself up, and you suddenly see just how ridiculously grotesque and huge this thing is. And part of it is like, does the game expect me to beat this fucking thing? Part of it is just like the bait and switch of this shot with this giant maw of teeth, and it's, oh my god, it's so fucking good. He will always slam down at the start of this. I'll get my souls back. And will he run forward? Yes, he will. Another thing is his hitboxes are really fucking wacky. Like, yeah, I guess I missed both of those? Wow. And then that hit. You know, it's yeah. Oh, jeez. I am surprised I didn't get that. You do have to be very careful of, like, everything, ever, in this fight. You can't hide behind pillars or anything like that, because as soon as he choo-choo trains forward, he'll just knock him the fuck down. It really is just this unstoppable train, and all you can really do is get behind him. Oh my god, this is awkward. And he's probably gonna... Yep. There we go. The tail swing isn't that dangerous, but it will still just, you know, wreck you. And you also have to be really careful if he lands on you, which he can very easily do. It's bad. He will move, like, slightly here, but yeah, like, you can see how close this is to being very, very bad for my health. You really have to bait him into doing that, like, slam down thing like that right there. He also has a grab. I am going to do my best to not show that off. Also, if he doesn't have enough room to run, he won't do it. So a lot of this boss is really just trying to bait the AI's behavior, which is why it's not really a great boss fight. And it's so unfortunate because it's like such a good cutscene. God. It's worth noting that lightning pine resin is even doing that. Really good here. You gonna finally run? There we go. This lasts like 3 or 5 minutes or something like that. He's definitely gonna run here because he has space to do it. And you gotta run to keep up with him. And then hope you hit his tail. There we go. Now it has no way to back attack us. And we got a Dragon King Great Axe just for our troubles. Which is neat. Come on. God. And I'm also like getting him to run constantly here, which I'm not really a fan of. Like, this guy could still very easily, yeah, there we go. He still tries to do the tail swipe, but it doesn't always work. Oh my god, this is gonna wear out my whole gold pine resin. I probably should have left it. My bad. This is an unfortunately awkward fight. Wow, it's already done? Oh god, I'm up against a wall, aren't I? Oh, this is bad. This is again, you have to be at like a really magical distance to get him to actually properly clamp down and start running. I don't like this fight very much, and I don't think anyone really does. The design is so great though. Like, it's by far the largest enemy you've fought up to this point. And you get all this time. Oh, and then he flies up, and God, I hope he doesn't kill me! You get a lot of time to do that. There we go. You can often get him into a bit of a cycle with these sorts of things, which is honestly the way to do it. Go two-handed and just start wailing on him. Wailing on him. One last. And then hope he doesn't land on me. Yeah, there we go. I think I might have him in a good cycle here. He needs enough room to run. He needs enough room, and it just, everything about it just feels so exploitive. You know, where you're so used to fighting enemies that really feel like real things. A lot of the time in the Souls series, fighting like giant things like this just does not work out the way that they would want it to. It's unfortunate. At least we got him in a good rhythm. I really hope I don't die and fuck this up. Like, that would be bad. Using all of my heaviest attacks just as much as I can to just get as much damage as possible into this. Uh-oh. I have changed his AI, but at least he only did a stomp. Nice try bully demising me here. Oh, and he also has this attack. This will not do damage, but it will corrode your weapons and armor. So, careful. It also is a pretty good zoning tool, and oh god, if he fucking... Yeah, like, look at this. You get in a one bad situation in this, and he can just kill you. So yeah, you can see he's clipping halfway through the wall here. So he's running. Wow. I guess don't take my advice for anything. Yeah, it's not a great look for Dark Souls. I'm just gonna hedge my bets here. We're so close that another, yeah. I didn't want to get greedy when I could probably finish him off next cycle anyway. Choo-choo! It's worth noting that if you hit his little head, it does do bonus damage, but that's super fucking dangerous, because he has a grab attack. Which I will not be showing off in this Let's Play. Nah. Woo! Victory achieved. We got Twin Humanities and something else that I completely missed there. Oops. I didn't think it gave us a thing. It's probably a homeward bone. I hope it's a homeward bone. Rather importantly, we also got a Dragon Great Axe. That is around here somewhere. There we go. Dragon King Great Axe. The axe, one of the rare dragon weapons, is formed by the tail of the Gaping Dragon, a distant, deformed descendant of the everlasting dragons. The axe is imbued with a mystical power, to be released when held with both hands. So, you get a little bit of backstory on the Gaping Dragon that you wouldn't otherwise get. It's worth noting that this, along with most of the other dragon weapons, has a ridiculous strength requirement to wield, because it is 50 strength. And in fact, I think it still will look just as ridiculous if I equip it now. Unable to wield efficiently. Yeah, look at this thing. It is large, and it's apparently really fucking heavy. And then we also got the key to Blighttown, which is a really creepy looking key. Blighttown key. Key to the Blighttown from the depths of the undead burg. Swallowed by the Gaping Dragon. That's why he drops it. As its name suggests, Blighttown is a place of great pestilence. Even the polluted inhabitants of the depths are aware of its dangers, and built this mighty door in hopes that they could remain safely separated. So, you've already got this Undead Burg, Lower Undead Burg, which is a worse place full of criminals. The Depths, which is the place where the Undead Burg threw people it couldn't even bother to put in Lower Undead Burg. And then Blighttown, a place that even the worst people in Undead Burg fear. There's just this constant escalation of... I believe the armor set that we picked up while we were fighting was hard leather, which is actually the stuff that we brought. Yeah, this is the warrior starting set, so I guess we now have 2 sets of that. I'm definitely doing some inventory management once we get back. It's the other way. No, it's not. Jump cut. Yes, it is. Jump cut. So yeah, this is worth noting. The mighty door. It is very obviously built with like old rusty metal that didn't even fit in the frame. It's got just this weak ass fence structure that was clearly stolen from another place, and just some boxes and other stuff piled up for good measure. I love the design on this thing, and I love that the key to it calls it a mighty gate. It even opens with the same animation as the Great Pilgrim's Key. It's this sort of like turning the mundane into this big thing, because it's so clear to like the residents of the depths that this gate did have weight, and it gives you this whole feeling of like, well, where am I going? The way that the light instantly changes as you cross this threshold. It gives you a very specific feeling. Like in another game, I could take this as being a really awkward transition, but like in this game it works. I'm sold on this. Like, it's actually pretty fucking creepy for you to step into here and immediately have the atmosphere change on you. You know that whatever you go down to here is gonna be a bad time. So let's not go down there just yet. Alright, for our final trip of the day, there is one last thing that we've kind of left standing. And that's this, pile of bones back here. I really like that the butcher basically just had a trash chute And a lot of victims. So, if you happen to notice this, your reward is a view of a giant rat. And perhaps an item that might be of use. Huh. So I thought you could get to that item from over here. I'm probably being silly about this. Actually, where is that? Weird. I could have sworn you could get over there from here. But anyway, there is this rat here. God, this is gonna bother me, because I know I could get that. Rat, yes, they have noticed us. But we have the mighty falling attack. Oh dear. Yes, perhaps not surprisingly, rat hits like a truck. Like a truck. And could very easily corner you. Jeez! That went poorly. It's also still cornering me while I die. Okay. After consulting a walkthrough, I have confirmed that I am just blind. Yep. I'm gonna leave that in, just so that you know. Reward for going over this way is the spider shield, and if we weren't complete goofballs, a much easier way to deal with the rat. You can fight this guy, but frankly, cheese is the way to go. Gives you 1,000 souls and does not recover, or does not return. And also drops the humanity, because rats have a weird tendency to nibble on human flesh. And while we're over here, might as well grab this too. Sort of the bait that, like, you can see from over in this door to try to lead you out and not have you notice the giant rat. This shield we just picked up is rather useful. Shield of the Savage Mountain Bandits. Uniquely shaped with a large black spider etched upon it. Has resistance to poison. In the next area that we will be going to, this is going to be immensely helpful. So helpful, in fact, that I'm actually going to go back to Andre and upgrade this, but you're not actually going to see any of that. I hope I did this right. Yep. You can also skip like 90% of the entire depths if you happen to know that you can slide down that whole thing. Which is, you know, it's a neat trick. I really like it. Very well designed, very well put together area to allow you to do something like that. But, anyway, I am going to be using the spider shield, but I'll upgrade it later. Next time on Let's Play Dark Souls. Oh, right, this doesn't... Ugh, God. I'm the worst at setting up episodes. It doesn't, like, activate the title screen until you're, like, on that bridge or some shit. Light Town! Goodbye.